The 20 richest painters and artists in the world. Many people are not able to imagine the great fortune that the most famous painters and artists in the world can accumulate. The world's richest artists and painters are millionaires, and sometimes billionaires, thanks to their twist on artistic styles and creative use of textures. That being said, let's look at the 20 painters and artists who are currently the richest in the world. Number 20. Julie Maratu. Net worth, $10 million. Julie Maratu was born in Ethiopia before her family moved to Michigan at a young age. Maratu, she studied art at the Rhode Island School of Design, where she developed her technical style. Maratu's abstract depictions of urban life have been lauded for their stunning visual interest. The most expensive piece of art of hers, Mumbo Jumbo, $5 million. Number 19. Georg Basilitz. Net worth, $20 million. The German painter Georg Basilitz is famous for being the painter who paints backwards. He was born in Baselitz, Germany, in 1938. Georg's artistic style was influenced by the circumstances surrounding his upbringing in Nazi Germany during World War II. Basilitz later changed his name in honor of his hometown. Although he was best known as a painter, his most expensive work is a sculpture almost 1.5 meters high, made of ash wood. His most expensive work of art, Women of Dresden, $11.2 million. Number 18. Chuck Close. Net worth, $25 million. Chuck Close did not have an easy life, and his difficulties influenced his artistic work in an important way. At the age of 48, Close suffered a seizure while attending a ceremony in New York, which left him paralyzed from the waist down. Even after that, Close continued to produce inspiring portraits characterized by his photorealistic style. Close enjoyed painting portraits of like-minded artists. He made a portrait of his colleague Cindy Sherman, called Cindy 2. The work sold for $1.2 million. His most expensive work of art, John, $4.8 million. Number 17. Richard Prince. Net worth, $30 million. Prince's most expensive work may be Fugitive Nurse, but his most notable is from his series, Untitled, Cowboy, a photograph of a photograph. The famous work is an appropriation of a Marlboro advertisement, based on a representation of the Marlboro Man. Prince's paintings of nurses are inspired by the covers of romance novels, often found on the shelves of newsstands. 10 of these paintings sold for more than $4 million in recent auctions. Prince has been a controversial figure in the art community for his appropriation work that, according to some, borders on the theft of intellectual property. His most expensive artwork, Runaway Nurse, $9.6 million. Number 16. Cindy Sherman. Net worth, $35 million. Cindy Sherman is an American filmmaker and photographer. Like many artists, she spent a good part of her career unknown to many and struggling to gain notoriety, selling photos of her for nominal amounts of money. In 2011, her self-portrait, Untitled Number 96, became the most expensive photograph ever sold at auction, when it fetched $3.89 million at Christie's auction. The record price was surpassed by Rhine 2, by Andrea Gursky, and now ranks number 4 on the list of the most expensive photographs ever sold. Aside from Untitled number 96, Sherman has had a very successful career and has been an influential figure in the American photographic scene. Most expensive artwork of hers, Untitled number 96, $3.8 million. Number 15. Beeple. Net worth, $50 million. Beeple burst onto the art scene when his NFT digital mosaic sold for just under $70 million at Christie's auction. Before the sale, Beeple was relatively unknown to the art community at large. The digital work of art put the NFTs in the limelight. The $69 million sale sparked a raging asset bubble in NFTs and other digital assets. His most expensive artwork, Every Day, The First 500 Days, $69 million. Number 14. Antony Gormley. Net worth, $50 million. Antony Gormley is a highly respected British sculptor whose famous works are Angel of the North, Elsewhere, Time Horizon, and Event Horizon. The English artist's style is wide-ranging, but he has become known for erecting larger-than-life sculptures that interact with beautiful natural landscapes from around the world. In 1994, Gormley received the Turner Prize for his work in the field for the British Isles. His most expensive work of art, Angel of the North, $3.4 million. Number 13. Banksy. Net worth, $50 million. You've probably heard of Banksy. He is a famous street artist from the UK, known for tagging public spaces with powerful, provocative art that always has a political message behind it. He also tends to be a bit of a rebel, as he doesn't follow the normal rules of the art world. One of the most dramatic moments of his career was when Girl with the Balloon was smashed as it sold at auction for millions of dollars. Banksy is anonymous, that is, he does not make public appearances, and nobody knows who he is. So you can only guess at his net worth, and $50 million is probably just a part of what he's amassed thanks to his art. His most expensive artwork, Love is in the Trash Can, previously called Girl with the Balloon, $25.4 million. Number 12. Bridget Riley. Net worth, $85 million. As one of the only women on this list, you have to give Riley a lot of credit, as she is one of the richest painters in the world. Her paintings are usually a set of optical illusions and have a sort of 1950s retro feel to them, which is powerful and eye-catching. Her paintings always have lines and defined shapes, taking the abstract to a controlled and precise place, instead of chaos. She uses digital art and painting as her main mediums, combining both to create intricate patterns that blend with the smoothness of real paint. It's hard not to be mesmerized by her works as they demand your attention. Most expensive artwork of hers, Chant 2. $5 million. Number 11. Takashi Murakami. Net worth, $100 million. This unique contemporary Japanese artist has had a meteoric rise to fame. The reason for his rise in popularity is probably due to his collaborations with popular brands, celebrities, and musicians. In 2008, Murakami was included in Time magazine's list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Murakami is one of the first contemporary artists to combine Japanese culture with commercial art. He has worked on product design for popular brands such as Off-White and Louis Vuitton. Off-White and Louis Vuitton. Takashi Murakami is likely to see his name rise on the list of richest painters in the coming years. His most expensive work of art, My Lonely Cowboy. $15.2 million. Number 10. David Hockney. Net worth, $150 million. David Hockney is one of the most famous modern painters, as his expensive paintings have broken auction records and entered pop culture. He focuses on self-reflection and on the relationship between the adult and the inner child, how both intertwine to form an artist or a person. His paintings are colorful and soft, and often depict people doing normal activities, representing humanity. People dancing in a circle, someone swimming in a pool, and other simple actions take on new meaning and depth when Hockney includes them in his striking works of art. His most expensive work, Portrait of an Artist. $90.3 million. Number 9. Anish Kapoor. Net worth, $182 million. Anish Kapoor's work can appear violent and threatening as he primarily uses the red and black of blood to create chaotic and deliberate artworks that evoke strong emotions. He also moves away from the typical flat canvas, using crazy textures and warped canvases, which bring each painting to life. People usually have visceral reactions to paintings, which can be aggressive and alarming, but also beautiful and complex at the same time. His most expensive artwork, Cloudgate, $23 million. Number 8. Andrew Vicari. Net worth, $210 million. Andrew Vicari was born in Wales, but spent most of his adult life in France. Vicari was known for the famous people's portraits of him. He called himself a painter of kings because of his fondness for painting royalty and world leaders. At the end of his life, Vicari sold a collection of 125 paintings from the First Gulf War to Prince Khalid for £17 million. There is no doubt that Andrew Vicari made a fortune in life, but it is rumored that he filed for bankruptcy, and if so, he could have lost his fortune. His most expensive artwork, Gulf War I collection, £17 million. Number 7. Jasper Johns. Net worth, $300 million. People often compare American artist Jasper Johns to Andy Warhol for his use of images and common symbols, such as the American flag, numbers, and letters. This type of modern art often evokes feelings related to the present, but tends to have lasting power as the state of the world and people's lives change and progress. Also, combines small lines to create massive patterns, which can be bold and beautiful from a distance, and then intricate and peaceful up close. In general, his painting tends to have a powerful yet relaxed air that many people appreciate in their homes. His most expensive artwork, Bandera 1983, $36 million. Number 6. David Cho. Net worth, $300 million. David Cho's work is vivid and busy, allowing you to see a new aspect every time he looks at himself. They are usually portraits, sometimes of famous people like Anthony Bourdain. But they always present colors different from the real ones with elements of graffiti and pop art, combining traditional portraits with street art. It depicts people realistically with a twist, such as nondescript brushstrokes or overlapping designs that look almost like a mask. His paintings are intended to show emotion and the chaos of the world and how it materializes in the individual. Although his most expensive painting only cost a few $1,000s, most of his money comes from his Facebook shares, not from Meta, which was paying him for some commissioned work by Sean Parker. His most expensive artwork, Untitled, $200 million, awarded in Facebook shares, number 5. Damien Hurst. Net worth, $384 million. Damien Hurst makes colorful and abstract paintings that often take elements from nature, combining the natural with the unnatural. He often uses cherry blossoms as inspiration for his work and brightly shaped polka dots to create strong yet understated paintings that evoke feelings of happiness and humility. People love paintings of him because they have a positive yet complex aura that makes you feel warm and welcome without knowing exactly why. His work is based on controlled chaos, combining many colors and energy in a way that appears organized and deliberately composed. His most expensive work of art, Lullaby Spring, $19.2 million. Number 4. Jeff Koons. Net worth, $500 million. Many people will be familiar with the name Jeff Koons, even if he isn't up to date with the biggest people in the art world. Koons is known for creating statues that look like real balloons or balloon animals, mixing textures in surprising and novel ways. He is best known for his sculptures, but also uses painting as one of his media. His most famous work is Balloon Dog. His paintings have an air of Salvador Dali's surrealism and a dreamlike scene. However, he uses bright, bold colors reminiscent of Andy Warhol's pop art. His contemporary art is striking and at times confusing, and draws the viewer into asking more questions and reflecting on the images. The most expensive work of art of him, Rabbit. $91 million. Number 3. Gerhard Richter. Net worth, $830 million. Gerhard Richter is the third richest painter in the world, with just over half of Korin's current estate. His works resemble those of Jackson Pollock, with a very abstract design, which presents many colors and shapes. The works are bold, with dark, rich colors like scarlet reds and Norwegian blues that often grab people's attention, even among a sea of other artists. Some feature mustard yellow colors, with symmetrical patterns, while others have a more chaotic atmosphere, evoking strong emotions. His most expensive artwork, Abstract Image, 809:1. $214.6 million. Number 2. Ed Ruscha. Net worth, $1.2 billion. Ed Ruscha had a modest upbringing in the American heartland. He was born in Omaha, Nebraska, but spent most of his life in Oklahoma. Ruscha would end up moving to Los Angeles, where he would study art at the Chouinard Art Institute. Ruscha's works are influenced by the pop art movement of the 1960s and mostly feature text, words, and phrases. Though Ruscha gained notoriety for word pictures of him, he was not a one-trick performer. Ruscha experimented with photography and film in addition to his oil paintings. Ruscha was never afraid to experiment, often using foodstuffs and other foreign materials to portray his work. His most expensive artwork, Hurting the Word Radio No. 2, $52.5 million. Number 1. John Korin. Net worth, $1.43 billion. John Korin is currently the richest painter in the world, with an estimated worth of over $1.4 billion, thanks to his unique and coveted style of painting. His works have a haunting, surreal aura that people compare to Salvador Dali mixed with Margaret Keane. His paintings have a realistic style mixed with deformed dimensions, especially around the human body. These paintings tend to draw people in and perplex them, but they can't look away either. Korin's ability to create these curious works that spring from a single mind is the reason for his immense success and his bloated net worth. His most expensive artwork, Nice and Simple, $12 million.